What's going on, everybody? We are looking at turning a car alternator into an electric motor today. We got a couple of little videos that we're going to be analyzing and checking out and seeing how they do it, if they do it differently, and what the results are. I've seen golf carts, go-karts, and all kinds of other stuff run by electric motors. I've seen plenty of people turn alternators into electric motors. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be checking out two different people that break alternators apart. They show you how to rewire it, what they do differently. They show how to take an automotive alternator and turn it into an electric motor. Now, if you know anything about electric motors, you know that if you spin an electric motor on its own, it creates voltage. What these guys are doing is basically they're taking a device that's spun by something else, creates AC voltage, goes through a regulator to create DC voltage to charge the battery and run all the power systems. What we're doing is we're taking this same device that runs all of the DC power systems in your car, rewiring it as a DC motor, and then it's going to drive go-karts, golf carts, mini bikes, whatever you hook it to. We're going to show that it doesn't really take special batteries to do it either. Once you go and you clip the main windings and you get the regulator off of this thing, go through and you clean everything up, make it look all nice and pretty, because chances are you're starting with something that's used, abused, and old and crusty. So, yep, go through, clean it all up, make it look pretty. You can paint it if you want to. These guys, both guys turned around and they painted theirs. Got to make sure you mess with the right wires. Now, this alternator is not the same as the next alternator. This alternator has 4 sets of wires. The next alternator only has 3. You got to pay attention, and they will show you that certain wires go to certain places. You're going to have 3 ends going to this as a motor, and the speed control will have 3 ends on it also. Now, as you see, they tied the one together and capped it. Not being used. They're only using 3 main feed wires. One's doubled up. Those look like they're doubled up also. Now, if you look at the inside of this alternator, these fingers here, I've got another video that I'm putting together on self-running power system. They call it the Liberty engine. Looked it up. If you've ever heard about it, it's a really cool, very basic device. Not that hard to make. But on one of the Liberty engines, when they converted their alternator to a generator, they cut all these fingers off, made an aluminum piece that went inside and held magnets. They're running neodymium magnets, and those magnets went around the windings and created an absolute mind-boggling amount of voltage. So you can take an alternator, and we're going to be doing that also. We're going to be taking these designs and we're going to be trying them out in the shop and see how it works. We just need to get our hands on some alternators. You know, we fabricate all kinds of stuff in the shop, so once we got the alternators, we can play with this kind of stuff. Batteries, they're going to be RC car batteries. What this guy's doing is he's reassembling this alternator at this point. He's keeping the charging system so that he can actually try and charge the batteries as he uses. Very curious how that's going to work. Now he rolls in his little quad that he's putting the electric motor on, zips through, makes it all pretty. And now we're at the speed control. This is the one that he recommends. He's running 6.8 volts, so you can get the RC car batteries with the 7.2 volts. As long as you're under 100 amps, you should be good. He made his own battery packs, hooks up all the electronics. There's the spec sheet. You want to pause and read. Wires that go along with it. Black wires go to the motor, red and black wires go to the battery pack, and only one of those plugs goes to the throttle speed control. Very simple connection, twist together, that way you can take it apart later. That little bus bar is super handy. Very, very handy, good to have. Puts cap on it, that way everything's protected and covered. Those are the charge wires that are supposed to go back to the battery pack. Got his little twist throttle, single plug that plugs in, just like an RC car. There's his battery pack. This bag here is full of C-size batteries. Got them all soldered together. He made his own battery packs. Not really that hard to do. If you're into RC cars and stuff like that, you're already pretty much doing things like this, jumping extra batteries, trying to get extra power. This is just transferring a hobby. Now, this speed control is really cool because it's got touch screen on the phone adjustments. You can dial it in, so while your kid's ripping around, you can actually make it go faster or slower. That is a really neat advantage. So if you're looking at speed controls, that is something to look for also, especially if you're doing this for a kid's toy. If you're doing this for your toy, you're going to want it wide open anyways. So it is what it is. But as you can see, he can completely adjust that motor's running on its own with the control. Everything's working how it's supposed to, processing out. And now he's got a power source to spin those rear wheels. This is really, really cool tech. Very simple, basic line stuff. And the most expensive part is probably going to be the speed controller. Go cheap on a speed controller, they will burn up really quick. So when you're playing with stuff like this, you definitely want the speed control to be a good one. Now you can see he's got all the different readings. You can adjust everything. Stuff jumps. It shows you what's going on, where stuff's happening. This is a really, really cool setup. And this looks like a very basic throttle setup. This is not like the throttle on the next video. The next video's got a lot more high-tech throttle. And like I said, these things can be as high-tech as you want to make them. There's all kinds of goodies when it comes to playing with electric toys. Radio control industry has definitely helped make some really cool toys. And now we're just upscaling them for kids and adults. And this is very basic, very simple, probably super lightweight. Nice, clean build. As you saw in the beginning of the video, his kid's actually doing hill climbs with this thing and ripping around in the sand. It'd be a fun toy. It's not going to be super fast, but he doesn't have a lot of voltage going to it. So the faster you want to burn up a speed controller and burn up a motor, you can put super voltage to these things and get crazy power out of an electric motor. Electric motors do not care, especially once they get to a certain horsepower. Start messing with gearing and sprocket ratios, you can really do all kinds of neat stuff with electric motors. And the motor itself is the braking system, so you don't have to worry about rear brake pads ever again. And it's got reverse. So not only can you go forward, but you got full speed backwards too. That's where the limiter comes in. This is a secondary. See, he's got the high-tech throttle. He's got it hooked to a car battery. See that thing jumping? That is absolutely insane. Again, with the pull apart, very basic, easy stuff. Just take all the nuts and bolts out until you get it apart. Don't be afraid to beat it apart with a hammer. Now, he pulls the rotor out instead of pulling the windings out, which I thought was a neat, different thing. That one's only got the 3 wires. 2, 3. Simple, easy peasy, bend them out the way. Now he takes it apart. I mean, okay. Get the regulator out of it. This is a regulator and brush pack. So you're separating the regulator and the brush pack. You don't need the regulator part of it. That go in the trash. That's the brush pack. That's what you need. Now see how he's only got 3 wires to solder back in place. The other one had 4. One makes life a little bit easier. There's the brush pack. I wonder if the 4th wire was the brush pack wire on the other one. That could very well be. Soldering 2 wires to the brush pack. Brush pack is what regulates the voltage that makes the motor spin. That is pretty much your power to the motor. one side of it. Coils and windings are the other side of it. All together. Got a running electric motor. That is a lot of wires hooked up. Okay, what do we got here? We've got the 3 electric motor wires, 2 other wires going to that. Not a good view of this. Okay. So he's got the 2 drill batteries run in series, probably to get 36 volts, I would imagine. There's a speed control and regulator and everything, throttle. Very curious what that is for. I've not seen people run 2 batteries before. You know, down in the comments below, let me know. Key switch, little electric digital dash. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now, the last video did say something about that was a sensorless setup, so there was no throttle position sensor and no speed sensors to be registered. This one, he doesn't say if it's a sensorless system. The details in this video are absolutely horrible, but overall, it still shows you what to do. You run the wires to speed control. I don't understand the secondary battery wires going to that unless it's, can't even say it's a charging system, because I think that's the charging system wires up there, and he took the regulator out. So those are the brush wires, and these are the feed wires, I guess. We need to dig into this more. If you know more about this, or you got some good links on information on this stuff, let me know down on the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Check out the page for ride videos, different kind of mechanical how-tos. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.